Yo, what's poppin'? People, your boy Snacks is back in the building with another banger. And you know how we do. Before we get started, we got to give a shout out to you, the viewer, for taking the time out to watch this video. But while you're here, do us a solid. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to turn your post notification bell on. You know what I'm talking about. And if you're watching on mobile, make sure you slide that thing over to the right and hit that hype button. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's the only way we do it over here. And you know, we will not start a video without getting hyped with the CU Auntie. So if you see a CU Auntie in the building or in the comment section, make sure you be most definitely respectful. Because if you ain't respectful, we act up. And then a whole lot of kind. You ain't got to rewind, but don't make us come find you in these YouTube streets. And y'all know what time it is. They got our boy hamstrung, but we want to know. Do we start this season? Do we sit the season out and just go ahead and marinate? You know, get warmed up for next year and get ready to show out? Whole lot of different things being said. Bad offense, bad coaching, bad quarterback play, bad receivers, bad offensive line. All we want to know is when Shedeur Sanders taking the field. Now, it's being talked about. Shedeur Sanders is the most talked about fifth round draft pick ever in the history of the NFL. Now that Shedeur Sanders is in Cleveland, a microscope has been placed on the Cleveland Browns and Kevin Stefanski and the way he runs his offense and the players that he doesn't have on his team. The question is, why has this offense been neglected for so long? And most of it is contributed to the Deshaun Watson trade or signing of Deshaun Watson, where a lot was given. But that don't mean you can't build. And now that Shedeur Sanders in the house, they just want to know when we gonna see him.
Been out in the sun all day, as you could tell. You know, kids, I'm really tired of losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I really am. It takes courage to be a Browns fan, but like today, it's just at this point the offense is terrible. I don't know. I'm not putting it all on Dylan Gabriel, but aren't we ready to see Shedeur? Maybe a week or two. What else do we have?
That's all we want to know. Are we ready to see Shedeur? Miami is coming up this week. And the Cleveland faithful and a few legendary players, they just want to see it.
Play. I want to see that boy get out there. 12. I want to see him play. I want to see him. I want to see him get out there because I just think that boy, he can maneuver, he can do some things, he can make some plays, he can make up for some of the things that we're missing.
Legendary player Hanford Dixon, he just want to see it because we've heard the rumors, we've heard the stories, we've heard he's not ready, we've heard he's so far behind Dylan Gabriel, we've heard that he's not a top quarterback, but we've also heard that he's elite. We've also heard that he is ready. He's number 2 now. He has to be ready. Mary Kay jumped ship and most definitely feel like he's ready.
To watch very much or practice anymore, but in the short little brief period that I do get to watch him throw, he is throwing to the practice squad guys and the backup receivers in the early part of practice. We can see it. And his elite accuracy is always on display. And not only is it just accuracy, it's the fact that he has the kind of arm talent where he can vary the ball speed. He can throw it from different arm angles. He can do a lot of things to make it a catchable ball. And I think that goes a long way. If you talk to receivers, that's what they want. They want to be able to catch the football. And that really wasn't happening this season with Joe Flacco. There were so many drops. So I think that's going to be something that they can really capitalize on when Shedeur gets in there. The fact that he'll take something off of it. You know, sometimes he's accused of not having the strongest arm in the world. Part of that is because he will definitely lob it and, you know, throw a softer pass if that's what's needed in certain situations. And he'll do whatever it takes to get it there. And that 74% accuracy, which was an FBS high, that's legit. That's not because he's, you know, not throwing it away or he's not wanting to throw the Hail Mary or whatever the case may be. That is a legit statistic from what
it's a legit statistic. It ain't from him not wanting to throw the ball away. It ain't from him holding the ball on too long. It's just that he is accurate and on point and can put the ball in places that a lot of people can't, especially one Dillon Gabriel. But see, everybody want to know, when is Shedeur taking the field? And we need to know now.
I think you'll see Shedeur.
Geez, if Gabriel keeps getting hit 16 times a game, it could be next week. I think after the bye week is a fair assessment. I don't know how long after the bye week, but I think Gabriel should get a couple more starts for sure. So far, a change of quarterbacks has not corrected all the other problems. So there'll be plenty of time, I think, for Shedeur to play, even if it's not immediately after the bye week.
Oh, there is a hunger for Shedeur Sanders to take the field. They are leveling up. They are talking every day more and more about Shedeur taking the field because they don't feel like Dillon Gabriel, the supercomputer. It's not his processing ability. It's his ability to throw the ball downfield and make the game worth watching, to put points on the board, to do the things that other quarterbacks do. And in the small sample size that they've had in Dillon Gabriel, they just haven't seen it. It hasn't been done. He hasn't put points on the board. Cleveland is still last in scoring points in the NFL with a 13.4 average per game in scoring points. Cleveland hasn't scored over 17 points in the last 12 outings. They haven't put 20 points on the board in forever. They only won 3 games last year. They've only won 1 game this year. So they're 4-24 right now under Kevin Stefanski. When are we going to see Shedeur?
What has the reaction been to those comments? You're not the only reporter, by the way, who covers the Browns on a regular basis.
Is even the most ardent Shedeur fan, the most ardent Shedeur fan would have to admit they're nervous about when he takes over based on everything there. Joe Flacco struggled. Joe Flacco's got 18 years experience. 18 or 20? Is it 20? 18. Either way, it's a lot of experience. Like in some jobs, he could actually retire with full pension in regular life, let alone being in football. He struggled with the offensive line. Dillon Gabriel clearly struggling with the offensive line and the offense. Shedeur, again, I don't think that they did this on purpose to railroad him or anything like that.
Yeah.
But you know how the Browns have been, and they haven't always handled situations the very best. You had him throwing the ball, boys. He was going to Baldwin Wallace to get extra work in. 2 weeks ago, was it 2 weeks ago? He was your emergency break glass in case quarterback. Now he's number 2, and now you're going to put him number 1. You can hope that Shedeur Sanders goes out there and defies the odds, because the odds are right now your offensive line will not protect you. The odds.
Yeah, that is true. But the difference is Dillon Gabriel has never had to play with that horrible offensive line. That is all Shedeur Sanders has ever done in college, is play with bad offensive lines. Dillon Gabriel didn't have to struggle with receivers and blocking and people doing their job in college, because every team he played on was stacked. But Shedeur Sanders, on the other hand, he's defied those odds. He's played with lesser receiver talent. He's played with offensive lines that weren't worth nothing. But yet and still, he did it. He defied the odds. He showed up. He showed out. And yet again, here is another situation that's telling him it's bad out there and you can't do it. And all he wanted to say is, just put me in the game, coach.
Is that your offense is archaic and predictable because your weapons don't necessarily know what they're doing. Maybe with the exception of Jerry Jeudy, the problem is Jerry can't hold on to the football right now. So the other weapons you have are either young, not really good to begin with, or guys who are unproven because they still don't know the offense. Harold Fannin Jr., who does have a lot of potential, but is still a rookie. Quinshon Judkins, a ton of potential, but is still a rookie. So you don't want to know the truth. You want to deny that. I got people calling me liars here on social media. Okay, but you can't tell me that you have full faith that he's going to go out there and look. So, guys, it's probably going to be even worse, because eventually he's going to play for this football team. And if you believe the Browns are going to do Browns things, then the Browns are going to get blamed, and it's going to be bad. So get ready. I want him to play, but I want him to be ready to play. I want him to have a good situation.
The man is ready to play. The man can play now. They just don't want to put him out there because they don't want to look stupid. And people refuse to believe that an NFL head coach or an NFL team or an NFL franchise would not play one of their best players because the head coach doesn't want to look like an idiot. He's human. He wants to be right. Either way it go, he already know what time it is.
You about to lose your job.
And that's his fear, that he's about to lose his job. So why would I put this man out here to make me look like I made the wrong pick? Dillon Gabriel is still going to be a question. Regardless of what Dillon Gabriel does the rest of this season, there are still questions.
I feel like it's a guarantee that we see Shedeur Sanders play at some point this year.
I mean, I think these last 2 weeks have made it feel like more of a guarantee, because it's not like Dillon Gabriel has seized this job. Now, is that still on the table? Potentially, yeah. As you get into this softer part of the schedule, this next 6 weeks, aside from the Patriots and then assuming the Ravens are healthy when the Browns play them again, you have an opportunity to play some teams where Dillon Gabriel can maybe make a case to keep this job. So that's really the only thing that would prevent it. If Dillon Gabriel just all of a sudden gets hot, all of a sudden looks like a guy that you want to keep as your starter for the rest of the year, then maybe we don't see him. But I think these last 2 weeks have just been a reminder that, Dillon Gabriel maybe isn't that guy, and that's going to open the door for Shedeur Sanders to at least get some opportunity towards the end of the year.
See, Kevin Stefanski is the one that's holding the string. He is the one holding Shedeur Sanders back. But Sunday, Dillon Gabriel takes the field at home. And if he doesn't perform, If he starts throwing interceptions, if this offense is not moving the ball, oh, you're going to hear those Shedeur chants. You know, those ones that I've been telling you that they ain't been able to hear, and they starting to swell up, and they bellowing, and they're growing. Sunday, if Dylan Gabriel does not perform, Kevin Stefanski is going to hear it. And it's going to be loud, and it's going to be long. And you know who else is going to hear it? Jimmy Haslam. Oh, Jimmy's going to hear it. And if Shedeur Sanders does not take the field on soon, they're going to lose this locker room, and they're going to lose this fan base.
Rookies, though.
No,
right? And I think that's it. That hurts both guys.
You can't.
And renders the offense just completely mush.
For sure. But the problem they run into, and this is one of the hangups I would have, is I want to see Shedeur play. One of the hangups I would have, though, is that if you burn Dylan, and Dylan's just gone, and that's a broken toy because you threw him out there and he wasn't able to do it. Okay, there's an acknowledgement there. We can't even have him as a backup quarterback because you can't win any games with him. And then if you throw Shedeur out there because you have no offensive line and you have no receivers, it doesn't look good with Shedeur. Guess what you have there as well? Like, you would have taken the 2 picks and effectively rendered them useless. All in the name of what?
Getting an answer.
I mean, listen, that's how I see it. That's what I'm rooting for, is that Shedeur goes in there and is the answer, and you're just taking the dart to the dartboard mentality. But just going for that answer, I don't know that justifies taking 2 quarterbacks at the 3rd and 5th round pick. Like, they're real players you could have taken at that point. Like, this is the danger in taking 2 the way that they did, is that you're not just burning 1 at trying to find it, you're burning potentially 2 at trying to find that answer.
I'll tell you why. I actually really like the idea of 2 more weeks if Dylan looks this bad. I don't think he will, by the way. I think there's an opportunity to play better.
This will be a good week for Dylan. It's going to be a good week for Dylan.
If Dylan looks bad, you're going to hear Shedeur Sanders chants throughout that crowd. Every time they're on the field, they won't have a home field advantage because Dylan Gabriel will get booed like Russell Wilson did in New York. You will hear Shedeur Sanders chanting throughout this crowd, throughout this game, and it will become unbearable. The worst thing the Browns could have done was drafted Dylan Gabriel before they drafted Shedeur Sanders. You put yourself in a bind. You put yourself under the microscope because you knew what Shedeur Sanders was. And people still want to believe there wasn't a conspiracy theory. Somebody conspired to do something. You keep complaining he's a 5th round draft pick. Tell me another 5th round draft pick that the world is watching. Tell me another talent that the world wants to see this bad besides Angel Reese. This is the fault of Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry and the NFL. They created this monster. Only way you fix it is put Shedeur Sanders on the field. And come Sunday, if Dylan Gabriel is not playing at a level that is satisfying to this fan base, you will hear this crowd, and you will hear them loud, and you will hear them long. And if you don't fix it, you're going to lose your locker room and your fan base. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Hit me up. Leave your comments in the comment section. I'm going to get out of here. I got to go take a nap. I got work to do. My daughter had me in these streets all day. If you follow me on Twitter, Instagram, not Twitter, if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, any of those places, you see it. We've been out in these streets all day. I'm still dropping this video. I told you, y'all gonna get at least 1. If not more, but you will get at least 1. But I'm going to holler at y'all. I'm out of here. Peace out.